admitted that they had their ears surgically altered, and they had cartilage moved, and the surgeon actually did a good job.
Where were they committed?
Well, they are married now, and I'm surprised. You would never think. I thought, really, you put these on, and you actually did that? Altered permanently? Pretty much permanently, and I can't reverse it. Anyway, that's commitment, and way more than me. Yeah.
Did you get that from you guys?
Sadly.
Yeah. She's more Star Wars.
She's what?
She's more Star Wars.
I'll
Deep Space Nine.
I feel like both.
You know, Deep Space Nine, I always do a poll. I have a panel at 7, and I'll do this again
Yeah, that's
that
what
night.
I was
I always kind of do a poll about what was everybody's entree. I said, what brought you into the Trek family? And then I go start with primetime Star Trek and go NBC in the 60s and go forward to JJ's movie. And then I turn around and I say, now tell me what is your favorite thing of all? And I say, yes, and I'll do a D, all the above thing too. And one thing, and Ira predicted this, speaking of DS9, and I agreed with him then, but I've never seen it so vivid as lately. He always said DS9 would be more popular. It would take 10 or 15 years for DS9's audience would find it.
Well, it reflects the times now.
Yes, it was ahead of its time. Pre 9/11.
We'll talk to you again. She'll be here tomorrow too.
Okay, I won't be here tomorrow. So come tonight at 7, if you can. My panel tonight.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Secret Kate, Mysterious Kate.
It definitely resonates now more.
Oh, okay. Hi. Are you like filming or?
Yeah,
Oh, you're doing this like.
Have you seen the new movie or the new?
Any like bits of it? No, I haven't. I've just seen the clips.
For your panel tonight.
That robot is notorious about that. Oh, great. Okay.
For your panel tonight, is there any kind of preview? Any preview of the new JJ film or no?
I haven't. No, I haven't. Nothing
okay.
pretty. I say Bad Robot keeps everything very tight, and I'm not on whatever the special.
Okay.
Not with their, that regime, and that's okay.
So
I said all through the next gen movies when I was writing them for my book and working on the communicator and all that. I said one of these days, and I'll be careful what you wish for. But I knew so much. I knew the whole, the black and the blue, the story, the behind the scenes, the what ifs and all that of every, generation's first contact insurrection. And part of that takes away your ability to be fresh when you see it the first. Well, it takes away a lot of your ability to be fresh when you see it the first time.
Yeah.
And it's almost like I would gauge everybody else's reaction. And I didn't have that, JJ09, it was very easy to have, even though you knew a lot about it before it opened. But, so yeah, it's been, that's one thing. It's like you can be fresh and do all that. So
okay, well, maybe I'll see you at your panel tonight.
If you were like trolling for anything or fishing for anything,
I think everyone is.
Have a thing to, I know what you know.
Yeah.
I just know that I sat down with Bob Orsi about a year after '09 to do a nice long archival piece, and some of the other people on their crew, but mainly Bob. And I said, so what do you? I had my own opinion on this, and I said, so what? Going into a second one, what do you want to bring to it that maybe didn't come through in the first one? And he says, well, I think we need, which is exactly what I thought. I was glad you were going to say it. He says,
I know what
the first one we had so much to set up. It's a lot like the motion picture. You had to get them. You had to get into it first. But it was a lot of jumping through hoops, or frying pan in the fire constantly. One thing after another. And he says we didn't have as much of the Roddenberry vision, the Roddenberry heart that we, future that we needed to have. And he said that'll be the challenge to bring that to the next one, to have the Roddenberry thing in it. So we'll see.
Do you think
this is as ramped up as the first one? Or,
do you think because JJ is going to be doing the Star Wars, do you think there won't be a third Star Trek for him?
Well, they've got 3 film deals with the actors, and maybe a 4th.
Oh, cool.
So they'll probably,
that's like one of the main things I was like,
I think they will. Yeah. But that's what I've said from the beginning is people that are all they've been well cast. They've got. The original and next gen films would love to have 1/10 the budget that they had. And they had the only way they were able to make those movies is they had the Star Trek storehouse of stuff, sets and costumes and all that over. So. Yeah, please take one. So it's like they started from scratch, and then still didn't have the money to build an engineering set. They put it into CG instead of building an engineering, and did the Budweiser plant or Miller plant. But people finally got it that it's movies, good or bad. They're movies, and you get 2 hours every 2, 3, maybe 4 years, and everybody has woke up the fact that we miss having a series. And they wouldn't compete. They've not shown any interest in jumping in. Bad Robot hasn't shown any interest in jumping in to do a series of some iteration, so
Okay.
we'll see.
All right, thanks, Larry.
We'll see, yeah.
Thank you.
Is that from